Hello, welcome to Let's Talk Politics on Naija Anchor News. Today we are diving into an explosive remark made by former Youth and Sport Minister Solomon Dalung about the power dynamics within President Bola Tinubu's administration. The former Youth and Sport Minister Solomon Dalung has called out the cabals around President Bola Tinubu. He said that the cabals are more sophisticated and more dangerous than those under Muhammadu Buhari's administration.
Of course, President Muhammadu Buhari's government had cabal. That is known, and that I've attested to. But I'm saying that President Muhammadu Buhari's cabal was made up of people who were not quite informed, who had little experiences in politics and public administration and governance. And so their activities were more or less limited to their parochial view of understanding of power relations and extending of their hands into helping themselves with public purse. But President Bola Tinubu's cabal is made up of sophisticated and ambitious group of people who had a very long history in power. They are experienced, they are educated, and so they have a sound knowledge of what power is. And since they are an ambitious set of people, the presidency will suffer more than that of President Muhammadu Buhari.
According to Dalung, Tinubu's power brokers are highly educated, ambitious, and skilled in manipulation, posing a significant threat to governance. He criticized the administration for a lack of transparency over fuel subsidy proceeds and its violent response to August protesters, labeling peaceful protesters as terrorists. Dalung also called for INEC to digitalize elections for greater transparency and questioned whether Nigerians are benefiting from Tinubu's governance, citing widespread dissatisfaction. Now, let's dive deeper into this. I'm your host, Santiago Jose, and in the studio with me we have
Ikega Dagma Joseph
and Dishon Edison.
Alright, welcome to the show. So, to start with, Dalung has painted a stark contrast between Buhari and Tinubu's cabals, describing the latter as more educated, more ambitious, and manipulative. He suggests that this level of sophistication could have significant implications for governance. What are your thoughts on this, Joseph?
First of all, let me say that talking about Buhari's cabal, truth be told, those guys were made up of old men who were not really educated. Because you see the likes of Abakari, Lai Muhammad, and the rest of them. Well, these are people that were, according to Buhari, his primary school mates. So who even know whether they went to secondary school and the rest of that? And those guys, the way they used to reason or do things, you will know that the guys are not really educated. Then coming to TINIBU, yes, the people surrounding him, even to the ministers, they are people that are educated. But I think what they have in mind is, let me say, everybody's doing what they feel like they should do, like individually.
Yeah.
Yes, they're not working together as a team to say, let me help to achieve or to help Nigerian citizens. Yes, and improve the economy. Everybody is working for their own stomach. So I think what Dalung saying is not far from the truth.
And it's like Buhari had more control over his own cabals than Tinubu. Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, for me, I think if we talk about that, I would say that Buhari was not in control of his own government at all.
Okay.
But this Tinubu, I don't really know how the stuff is going so far, because I'm not really seeing Tinubu come into the picture that much. The cabal are still doing things just like the way they did in the former administration, Buhari. So I think if you talk here, these ones are more smarter. The ones in Tinubu's administration, they are more smarter than the ones in Buhari's administration.
All right, thank you so much, Joe. Mr. Edison, what you have to say?
Well, mine will be a little bit different because the way I view it, the nature of good governance is not rated based on being illiterate or literate, because to me, I believe all these individuals are people who has already amassed power, and they have the connection, and all of them do work all together to see that their heart desires are being achieved. But actually, I would say either Muhammadu Buhari's governance or Bola Tinubu system of governance, generally I would say all of them work together because they operate life based on who knows who. So they bring to board who they really want to align with, and people they know that at least they can achieve something from. So to me, being illiterate or being, learned or that, actually to me is not.
It doesn't really have effect on the governance. Yeah. Is what the people are able to offer. Yes, okay, that's a very good perspective too. So let's move on to the next question. Dalung also brought up the need for INEC to digitalize the election process to address allegation of manipulation and improve electoral transparency.
INEC should digitalize election process in Nigeria. We have elected people using digital technology all over. So why is it difficult for INEC to use the same process to elect leaders?
How critical do you think this reform is, considering the challenges faced during previous elections, Mr. Joe?
Looking at Nigerian previous elections, none of them so far have worked. Yes. So it looks like the problem of Nigeria is really coming from the INEC. So INEC really need to work on their electoral system. They need to work on how, whether they are going to go digital, it's going to help just like other countries. If that will be the solution, why not? Because always we have this issue of people will come out in mass to vote, but at the end of the day, there will be a lot of rigging. A lot of people will be pointing, accusing fingers of this one, that one, the car reader failed, this one, that one, because of one person will be voting more than even 20 times in one polling unit. You understand? So if they are going digital is going to help, then I buy the idea.
When he talked about going digital, there are two aspects of it. Which do you think? Are we voting digital or the digital transmission of the results? Which one is more foreseeable?
Well, I think he said he made mention of other countries, so I think he mean voting digitally.
I think that for me, actually, I feel like, well, we can't say INEC should go digital because even if you look at, we can't even say it's not even feasible because even the manual, we still have issues. And then INEC going digital, we need other aspects, other sectors of the economy to be working, like the telecommunications to work, because you are going to transmit results.
No, okay, so let me ask you briefly. Let me ask you. Talking about this now, INEC in every election, being it presidential or gubernatorial, those guys bring their budget, right? They make budget based on what they think that will aid them to conduct a free and fair or credible election. So why don't they make the budget that will cover what they need, what they feel that this election is going to be
digitalized? Yes,
going to be free and fair. It's going to be without rigging.
I know that's the rigging, the voting, everything is all up to INEC, but the way me have problem is digitalization of the results, because if you want to transmit results electronically, you need other aspects. Let's say the telecommunications.
So that's where the budget comes in.
No, it doesn't have things to do with budget. INEC can tell you that we budget so we are going to transmit results. MTN today Glo Network all decided and went off. INEC can tell you that there was network issue. If you've been to the bank, they tell you there's network issue. What if in the process of transmitting result there's network issue, there were breaches? So for Dalung to say this, it shows that maybe he did not have the knowledge of this digital transmission of election or voting online, all those things. For me, we have to be fair. INEC have lapses, but there are certain things that we know that there are third parties involved.
Now,
so you can't just put it on INEC.
If you hear what Dalung said very well, he talked about accountability. Now, looking at it from that aspect, Why, if INEC give their budget, okay, this is what we need, and the money has been released for them to do what they need to do. So why are they now coming to tell us that this, that it not work because of that? You are now bringing telecommunication to play. Now, if government is holding these people accountable, they will be able to bring a tangible result.
Can INEC control the network? No, they don't have. So what I'm saying is, it's good to transmit, but you are comparing Nigeria to other countries, the USA, where they have every other sector. You see, the economy is like a system. For this system to function, this system have to work. It's like a computer system. For you to work, the screen have to show. For the screen to show, the motherboard have to work. So it's like that. INEC could tell you, I'm about to transmit result, network went off. You see how all these things happen in the country.
Well, to me, all this conversation based on the INEC stuff, INEC to me, up to now, they are not independent based on the nature of how the governance is. To me, even though they said they want to digitalize, the processes of election, to me, it will not work, because those people who are behind the scene, I mean the government, those people on the throne of governance, they are the people that will at least bring those people on board. They are the one that institute them, so they will still control them. Even if you so wish that let it go digitally, it will still be kind of somehow, because they are the ones still that will continue to manipulate, to even, like as this guy rightly said, they can easily like come up with an idea that okay, the network sees,
they can sabotage it.
Anything can happen.
So I feel like the issue shouldn't be about going digital. It should be about making INEC independent, because there are still people there are so millions and thousands of excuses that they can still give. So the point is good that we want to do what other people are doing, but will what those people doing work for us, considering what we have? Is that the solution to us?
Now I think, looking at it from the citizens' perspective now, from the side of the masses, are you now saying that if INEC fail to produce credible results, you can't hold INEC accountable?
Who is going to hold INEC accountable? Who is holding? Who is giving? Now this is what we are trying to say. INEC is not independent, as they say. The people providing the money for INEC to run result, they are the people sabotaging the result, and they are the people that are supposed to hold INEC accountable. So who is going to hold INEC accountable?
Now I think from here now it should be what Dalung is saying is that the voice of the masses really matters. If the masses are complaining bitterly every time, I think government will also hear what the masses are saying. Because if, okay, for instance now, the results and the elections in the past, every one of them has been marred by the malpractice. Now they introduced the issue of card readers. It's still not working. So is it not best for us to try what other countries are trying that is working for them?
So this Dalung stuff, to me, Dalung himself is not even helping matters, because back then while he was the the Minister of Youth and Sport, why can't you come up with that idea back then while he was in the system? Is it now that, is it because, to me, I would just view it one-sided, that it's because he's not in the governance, or it's because Baba Buhari is no longer there. So you now begin to come up with some ideas like trying to show as if it is under President Muhammadu Buhari, Bola Tinubu's governance, that is beginning to coming up with these ideas saying that they should digitalize everything.
No, I think I disagree with you on that, because looking at Dalung, the guy has always been outspoken, even in the time of Muhammadu Buhari. He has always been on.
So why can they work it out and then implement that back then, not in this?
Not now. That is what I'm saying. I feel like the solution to Nigeria's INEC is to find ways to make INEC. We have to be realistic with ourselves. This digital stuff, that is not going to. It's still going to be sent. Let's just make INEC independent. What is the solution? What along from my own analysis and evaluation, I feel that is not the solution to why INEC can't give us credible elections.
Let me take you back briefly. You said it's the same people, the same government that is controlling INEC. Now, who is going to make the INEC independent? Because if the government are controlling INEC, they are enjoying it, right? They are manipulating the INEC to favor them. Now, would they go ahead to free INEC so that they will not have a hand in what INEC will do? No. So I think it's bad for the masses, like Dalung is saying, or he's coming out to speak out. If the masses are coming out to speak out, these people will be forced to.
But I don't really know how we're going to do about this. That's why I'm saying they should proffer another solution, because people have been speaking out. People even go to court and sue that this election was mine, appeal, they come out, they judge, and all the judges are being appointed by the president, all those things. So if you take a look at this, we have a long way to go. But the point I stood on is digitalization of the results. INEC voting is not even feasible. It's something we cannot achieve with other sectors. Considering other sectors, INEC cannot just decide on their own. They have to work with, like I mentioned before, they have to work with telecommunication. They have to work with they even need manpower. They need experts. And it's not like you just look at, that is the problem we have in Nigeria. We just look at what the USA is doing and they will say, the USA is doing this, let's do it. What about our own? If you see that USA cars are using cyber trucks, then you go and buy cyber trucks, bring it to Nigeria. All these are Gallop pros. It will not work for you. So if digitals those people, they vote and they send to emails, email voting, they do it there, but we can't do it here. It's cool, but we can't do it because we don't have those facilities. Okay, so lastly, Dalung emphasized that the government should be accountable for the removal of the fuel subsidy and its impact on the common man. He questioned what has happened to the supposed saving from subsidy withdrawal. Now, TINIBU said the money for the subsidy would be used to develop other sectors of the economy. But from experience, we see that every sector is getting bad. Every sector is getting worse. Prices getting high. We do not see any sector that is improved so far. So, Mr. Edison, do you think the administration has been transparent enough about these funds and their utilization?
To me, they haven't done anything. It's like from 0 to 0 plus, because the removal of the fuel subsidy, actually, I haven't seen anything working. Like you rightly said, nothing. All the economic sectors and all that, nothing. I mean, nothing is working. To me, there's no need.
Yeah, so the subsidy was even better.
Yes.
Somebody was even saying, if the first one they've removed the first subsidy and it's not helping things, you cannot subsidize food items and other things.
Well, for me, I see no need of removing subsidy. There's no need at all, because okay, you said you remove fuel subsidy so that you will improve other sectors. Like what? Because since the present government came in power, we see how insecurity increased. We see how there is massive hunger in the land. We see a lot of things that were not didn't come to play before came to existence now. So I would say that the current administration, there's no communication between the president, the ministers, and all of that. Because looking at it, before they appointed the ministers, the president removed the subsidy. With who? Only him. With measures on ground. You understand? How can you the first statement you offer is to remove subsidy without a plan? I think it's when you come in, if you come into an administration, you see how things are done. You sit and analyze and plan the way of doing things before you take a particular decision. So, but by so doing, you can see the implication, the consequences.
All right. You need to see the loopholes before you know how to
yes,
maneuver
exactly.
All right. So before we close, Mr. Joseph, can you drop your closing statement?
All right. Thank you very much. I want to encourage people out there not to give up on Nigeria. I believe it's by coming to speak out. If you see any issue in the past government or the current administration, you feel free to speak out, even though it comes with some consequences, like some arrest, even if you speak against. But you don't have to give up. I think by so doing, one day we'll have a better Nigeria.
Thank you. So, Mr. Edison?
Well, to me, actually, I would say that what I want to at least keep the masses abreast on is that these political juggernauts, they have already amassed, significant wealth and influence. They also have all the connection. So I think they will continue to maintain that power. So to anybody who might try to counter, they will do anyhow to see that they maneuver their ways and have what they really want. So for that, I urge us all to at least lean on God and also be prayerful, so that whatsoever thing we are hoping and thinking toward Nigeria will come to reality.
All right, thank you both for your insightful contribution. It's clear that the long comments have opened a broader conversation about governance, accountability, and the role of Cabals in Nigeria's political landscape. Our viewers, thank you so much for staying true to the end. We'd like to see you on next episode. Don't keep quiet, keep talking politics.